Welcome to the Functional Aesthetician, a podcast where skin health meets whole body wellness. I'm Samantha Dench, a licensed esthetician of 22 years, owner of Skin Deep Aesthetics, author, and a student of functional medicine. My mission is to help you see the bigger picture because healthy skin starts from within. In each episode, we'll explore the gut-skin axis, hormones, nutrition, skincare, and wellness tools you can use to transform your skin. Welcome to the Functional Aesthetician podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Dench. Today we're going to talk about the role sleep has on our body and skin. Please enjoy. Sleep is one of those things that we all know we need more of, but most of us don't get enough. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you sleep and how the negative impact of not sleeping affects your skin. Let's start out by talking about how your body repairs while you sleep. When we sleep, our bodies go into restoration mode. Cortisol levels drop, melatonin increases, inflammation slows, and your cells begin to repair themselves. Blood flow increases, providing oxygen to the body and skin. As the skin repairs itself, it rids the old, unwanted cells and increases fibroblast cell production. Fibroblasts are responsible for maintaining collagen. The more you sleep, the younger your skin looks. The aging process slows down many of the cell's processes, such as cell turnover and fibroblast production. Add in environmental toxins, sun damage, and poor nutrition. This not only affects our skin, but how well we sleep, too. The term beauty rest is not just another term. There is a lot of truth to this, as you will learn in today's episode. Since sleep is such a hot topic for the skin, I'm going to focus this first section on a Q&A to answer the top questions I get asked. Why does my skin look brighter or duller depending on how well I sleep? Lack of sleep can impact the skin microbiome. Our melanocyte cells, the cells responsible for our skin color, are affected when sleep is lacking. This is why you end up with dull-looking skin and even dark spots appear. Think of how glowy your skin looks when you wake up well rested. It's because your skin had time to repair and heal. How does my sleep affect my skin barrier and hydration levels? In previous episodes, we've talked about transepidermal water loss. In simple terms, this is water evaporation from the skin. When you don't sleep enough, transepidermal water loss increases, resulting in how your cells function and turn over. Another reason why you want to avoid transepidermal water loss, it dehydrates the skin, and this compromises your skin barrier. Does cell turnover actually happen at night? The skin follows our circadian rhythm and affects how the skin functions overnight. According to research, cell turnover tends to peak between midnight and 2 a.m. This makes sense because during the day, our skin is fighting off pollution, dirt, and environmental toxins. At night, while we sleep and rest, our cells repair, which means they turn over the old cells and rebuild new ones. Why do my breakouts worsen when I don't get enough sleep? When you don't sleep, it affects your skin's microbiome. Our skin works similarly to our gut, which means it must maintain the proper balance of good versus bad bacteria. Our circadian rhythm is tied to our healthy skin bacteria. If we are not getting enough rest, the amount of acne bacteria, also called C. acne bacteria, increases on the skin. If there is an increase in C. acne bacteria, you begin to suffer from acne. Why do I wake up with puffiness or swelling in my face? During sleep, our blood flow increases to help rid our body of toxins, cellular waste, and unwanted cells. The lymphatic system works alongside blood flow to detoxify overnight. If we don't sleep, these systems can't properly remove the body of waste and toxins. Plus, blood and lymph pool under the eyes, making you look puffy upon waking. The goal isn't just to get more rest. The goal is to improve your sleep quality. If you're not sleeping or struggle to fall or stay asleep, create a pre-bedtime wind-down routine that helps your body relax. The good news is, since our skin goes into repair mode when we sleep, using skincare products that support your skin barrier, encourage cell turnover, and maintain hydration are important to use at night. I never recommend overdoing skincare. Here's a simple skincare routine that supports skin healing overnight. Use a gentle cleanser that's either cream or oil-based. Incorporate serums with ingredients like retinol, bakuchiol, niacinamide, and peptides. Seal everything in with a heavier moisturizer. In the winter or in dry climates, add a humidifier to your bedroom to prevent dry skin. I get many new clients who skip this important step to being tired, lazy, or falling asleep on the couch. But nighttime is when skincare is the most crucial. Try to find a way to squeeze your nighttime skincare routine in so your skin is supported while you sleep. You don't have to wait until right before bed to do your skincare routine. I aim to do mine before I sit down to relax at night. This way it's done, and if I fall asleep or get really tired, my skincare is done and I can just crawl in bed. Touching on one last piece before we move into this next section. Many of you listening are moms. Think back to when you had your babies. Babies sleep constantly when they're newborns. They are in a state of growing, changing, and developing. And sleep is what helps them grow. And for those of you who have teenagers that can't seem to get up or somehow never hear their alarms, they also are in need of more sleep than they typically get. Now I want to cover the negative effects of sleep deprivation. This can be defined as either poor sleep quality, meaning you wake up throughout the night or don't sleep enough hours. The first thing sleep deprivation does is accelerate the aging process. Aging begins around the age of 25. When we don't get enough sleep, it reduces fibroblast production, and over time, this breaks down collagen and elastin, resulting in fine lines, wrinkles, and sagging skin. Earlier in this episode, we talked about transepidermal water loss, which increases water evaporation from the skin. The result is a compromised skin barrier, dry or dehydrated skin, or skin sensitivity. A damaged skin barrier impacts how your body absorbs products, and this may be why you apply moisturizer only to feel dry an hour later. Another result is the increase in cytokines, which are signaling proteins that indicate inflammation, immune response, and healing. Increased cytokines in the skin can lead to breakouts, acne, or rosacea flare-ups. When you don't sleep, cell turnover slows down. This does naturally happen as we age. However, lack of sleep slows cell turnover down. Think of how older people have dull, grayish skin. That is a lack of cell turnover. We need cell turnover to keep our skin youthful and healthy looking. Otherwise, we're left with dull skin or an uneven skin texture. The lack of cell turnover can increase dark patches, which somehow seem to pop up overnight. They really didn't, but it looks like that because of all the time you haven't been sleeping well. This next part is how sleep deprivation impacts your body, especially your immune system, resulting in increased inflammation, prone to colds and flu, slower recovery, and negative effects from environmental stressors. This is more of a long-term effect of sleep deprivation, but still important to know. Another factor is how not sleeping well can negatively affect cortisol levels, resulting in increased insulin resistance because the body can't regulate itself without the right amount of repair mechanisms from sleep. This leads to increased hunger or not feeling full when eating, hormone imbalances, and digestive issues like constipation or diarrhea, bloating, and weight gain. When it comes to insulin resistance, this increases the amount of blood sugar circulating in your body and how your body breaks down sugar. This leads to a process called glycation, which means the body is breaking down protein. Glycation is responsible for the aging process, and increased glycation speeds up aging. Lastly, I want to talk about how the skin and body have trouble with wound healing or tissue repair. If you suffer from acne or have scarring from recent surgeries, sleep deprivation slows healing. The skin becomes less resilient and more reactive. Think sensitive skin, or your skin may react to everything you apply. For women during perimenopause and menopause, this gets more complicated because sleep issues aren't always about sleep habits or stress. This is caused from shifting hormones, unstable blood sugar, digestion changes, and stress response. In this next section, we are going to talk about what causes these changes in the body and why good sleep can become harder. Insomnia is defined as difficulty falling or staying asleep, leading to poor sleep quality and daytime fatigue, irritability, and brain fog. This is the result of an impaired circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is basically our biological clock. It regulates our body on a 24-hour cycle. Light and dark impact this the most, but factors like stress, hormones, diet, lifestyle, and temperature also impact the circadian rhythm. One of the main components affected is melatonin production. Melatonin is one of the major regulators of the circadian rhythm. It increases at night and decreases during the day. However, for many women, lowered estrogen impacts melatonin production, making it difficult to fall asleep and maintain a proper sleep cycle. The first reason is that estrogen affects vasomotor regulation. Vasomotor refers to the nerves and processes controlling blood flow and body temperature, and the main cause of night sweats and hot flashes. Our body temperature drops during rest, but when increased blood flow results from a drop in estrogen, our body temperature increases and we can wake up in the middle of the night. On the flip side, progesterone has calming effects on the body. Studies have shown that progesterone promotes deep sleep, while low progesterone levels cause women to wake during the night. Cycling women tend to sleep better in the second half of their cycle due to increased progesterone levels. Now throw in increased cortisol levels due to stress being high, plus stress from not sleeping. It's no wonder women have such a hard time in this stage of life and end up suffering from mood disorders, anxiety, and depression. In our episode on stress, we talked about the HPA axis that is regulated by cortisol. Cortisol affects the REM stage of sleep, which is crucial for deep sleep. When we are in REM, our body goes into repair mode. So if cortisol levels remain high overnight, our body can't get into REM. This can lead to wakening in the middle of the night, trouble falling asleep, or racing thoughts. And the last piece that is affected is insulin. If cortisol levels remain high overnight, insulin levels can spike. When we are sleeping, our body is in a state of fasting, so it shouldn't be digesting food or breaking down sugar. However, with higher levels of insulin, sugar circulates the body overnight. This leads to insulin resistance, night waking, and weight gain. Insulin spikes can cause you to wake up startled in the middle of the night. Cortisol affects digestion, and lack of sleep worsens gut issues. When cortisol levels remain high, it curbs digestion as a protective mechanism. Insomnia can lead to low stomach acid, which causes indigestion, bloating, gas, constipation, and/or diarrhea. Many women who are affected by a sluggish digestion due to sleep disturbances may complain they feel like they have to go to the bathroom but can't. And like we've talked about in previous episodes, this affects your hormones and can lead to estrogen dominance. And I promise I'm not trying to be gloom and doom here. I am here to give you information to help you understand your body and your symptoms. Here are some ways to help you with sleep. Establish a consistent bedtime routine that includes winding down without electronics before bed. Do some deep breathing or put on a 10 to 15 minute guided meditation when you lie down in bed. Take a warm bath or hot shower before bed to calm your nervous system. To help with digestion and insulin, find a good digestive enzyme to take 15 minutes before meals. This increases stomach acid. Drink a glass of room temperature lemon water first thing in the morning to help with digestion. Get in some movement daily, like 15 minutes of yoga or stretching, a walk around the block, or light weightlifting to increase digestion, blood flow, and calm your nervous system. Bonus if you can get 20 minutes of sunlight every day. This helps regulate cortisol and melatonin levels. Be kind to yourself. If you wake up in the middle of the night, do some deep breathing or pop in your headphones and listen to a 15-minute guided meditation. This will turn off those racing thoughts. If you feel like you've tried all of these options and are still struggling to sleep, please reach out to me via my social media page @SkinDeepIL. We can talk about functional testing to get you some answers. We will then come up with a nutrition, lifestyle, and supplement plan to help support you through this time. I'd like to end today's episode with one small step you can start taking today. Establish a consistent bedtime routine. Turn off devices 1 hour before bed. Do something relaxing, like take a bath, read a book, breathe, or meditate. Being consistent with your nighttime routine can train your mind to relax so it knows it's bedtime. This increases melatonin production and can help decrease cortisol levels so you can easily fall asleep. Find what works best for you because consistency is key. Thank you for listening. Today we talked about sleep and how it impacts everything from your skin, body, nervous system, hormones, and digestion. We will be off until January. We will have new content and bring in some special guests. 2026 is going to be a great year and the perfect time to start working on you. I am not a resolution person, but I do pick a word each year that I intend to live my year by. This is a great practice to help you become who you want to be in the new year. Be sure to tune in starting January 6th for a combination of solo and interview-based episodes. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in. As estheticians, we have such a unique opportunity to not only care for the skin on the surface, but to guide our clients towards deeper wellness. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with me on Instagram @SkinDeepIL. I look forward to connecting with you there. And if you enjoyed this conversation, subscribing and reviewing the podcast helps others find these conversations too. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in.